truly, I think I was blessed with this routine. Like, this routine found me. Like, life blessed me with this routine so that I could share it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a makeup video again, finally. Today's a very important one. Today is one that I feel I'm doing as a true form of public service. I am not even kidding when I tell you that this makeup routine is the longest lasting, foolproof makeup routine for oily girls. It lasted me through the Midwest, muggy, thick, wet, swimming in the air, 90-degree weather last Saturday. Lasted me 11 hours. I am not playing when I say 11 hours. This was my makeup when I first finished it. It was perfect, beautiful, amazing. And this is my makeup 7 hours later. Are you seeing what this looks like right now? Bronzer is there. My face is like not even oily. I have no breakage on my like smile lines, which is what I struggle with the most. There is no breakage here. My makeup looked so good. I was already in shock, but I had to go to a book club. So that was what, 4 hours later? And this is what my makeup looked like 4 hours later. Does it look amazing? Does it look perfect? No. But are you seeing my bronzer? Are you seeing my blush? They're both still there. I did not touch up my bronzer or my blush to go to book club or at all the entire day. From the moment I did my makeup that morning, this is what it looked like 11 hours later. Yes, I have oiliness on my cheek that you can see, but I am an extremely oily girl. I don't know, like, you guys, I am the most oily girl in the entire world. There is no makeup that usually lasts. It like breaks apart, especially on my mustache and just my cheeks. Like oh my God, like my bronzer area. The fact that my bronzer is on in this picture is insane because I was sweating so much, and that is what I am here to do as a public service today. I'm going to show you my step-by-step routine that I did that day. There's not like 20,000 steps. It's just what I used, and I think the combination of everything I used. I am a full face girl. I love a full face. Is it gonna sweat off in the summertime? Yeah, that comes with the territory. That's something I have accepted. Just as an oily skin girl, you know, I still want to be beat in the summer, especially when I'm tan. This makeup routine is my saving grace, and I want it to be your saving grace too. That's why I'm sharing it. With all that being said, you saw what my makeup looked like after 11 hours. Let me show you how I did it. By the way, I hope you like my The Little Mermaid reference hair clip here. It's literally the end of like a spoon or fork or knife, like silverware piece, and it's like a hair clip. I feel like I'm giving very much Little Mermaid with that. So, I mean, I saw this and I had to have it purely because I'm a Little Mermaid stan. But anyway, had to point that out. Just think it's really cute. The first thing I used is the very last of my Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops. Then you're gonna wanna take off your pimple patch. That's gotta go. The first thing for any makeup routine, if you want your makeup to last and look good while it lasts, and I'm talking no crepiness under the eyes, no lines down your smile line area, no lines in your nose, because like the lines I get in my nose sometimes when I don't do my right skincare are horrifying. The first one is this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It is pretty viral, but you need to get your hands on it. This is a viral product for a reason. The products I am using, I feel are non-interchangeable. They're non-negotiable. You cannot swap them out for different dupes or whatever. Like, these are the products you need. I have some drugstore, I have some high-end. I do feel like they're budget friendly for somebody who wants to have their makeup last bulletproof. I am obsessed with this primer. I think that is definitely one of the reasons my makeup lasted so long. So I take like 1.5 just to make sure I get it all over my big face, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get every area, and I like to really get it on my hairline because that is where we all sweat, right? Like that is, I feel like, the one place we sweat the most, and I feel like I always get my bronzer like wiping off as I'm sweating, and so I really stick it up there, like into my hairs even. The last thing we need is to get exposed for being a pale girl that does fake tan. At least I don't want to be exposed for that. The foundation I used, I don't think is negotiable. You need to use this one. And it is the Neutrogena Matte CC Cream with niacinamide again. And I have it in the shade Fawn. Everything I talk about is linked down below. This is a full coverage matte color correcting cream formulated with niacinamide and designed to mask skin imperfections and even skin tone for a flawless looking complexion. It was developed with dermatologists for acne prone skin, which I didn't break out at all when I used this, and I've been breaking out with certain foundations. So again, just a huge winner for people with sensitive skin. This is free from oil, fragrance, parabens, sulfates, and phthalates. So love that. And because it's a matte CC cream, this is already formulated for oily skin girls. All I know is that every time I use it, it makes my makeup look so good. And I'm never disappointed. This will never do you wrong. It's never done me wrong. Even like before I knew that this makeup routine was going to last me legitimately 11 hours looking flawlessly, I already knew that this was going to have my makeup looking right. I feel like this is always good for 5 hours of wear solidly, but I do think everything else I used and the techniques that I did are the reason that my makeup lasted so long. These two together, I really think carry this routine. And I think if I didn't have all of my stuff, as long as I had these, my makeup would last. These are a match made in heaven, and they're both drugstore, and they're amazing. Amazing. If you really want your makeup to last for real, you're gonna need everything in this video. Just because I promise you it is gonna be the most long wearing foundation routine makeup you ever have on your face, and it's not like break the bank products. Next thing, this is a new thing. When I did this full routine for the first time, I was also trying this product I'm about to show you for the first time. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour in medium tan. I think, you know, people say that these are dupes somewhat for the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. It is like a really nice shade for, you know, us fake tan girlies. I do think it's like a really great, like not orangey, but just like brown sort of caramel color for bronzer. I love the shade. This is one of the non-negotiable products. My bronzer lasted so long. Literally the full 11 hours my bronzer lasted. And I think it might have been because of this, because I used other like liquid bronzers and I set them with powder bronzer. Like I do the same routine that I'm about to show you, but this was the only thing I did different for my bronzer. As an oily girl who I sweat, I want to get one thing clear, okay? I am a Caucasian white woman. And what does that mean? I sweat like the devil is inside me, okay? I sweat like I need to fill a pool up with my sweat, as if that is my 9-to-5 job. When it is hot, I am sweating like it is literally how I get a paycheck. It's so messed up. And I think it's because, you know, me and my Irish ancestors, it's cold and muggy and not hot there. It's not hot in Ireland or in Europe, wherever the other people from my ancestry is from. All I know is that I am a sweaty girl. I have no acclimation from my ancestry to not sweat, so I am a sweaty, oily girl. That being said, I don't know how to stress to you that I am the epitome of what a oily, sweaty girl is that loves to wear makeup. I live in constant battle, okay, to like have a beat face that lasts. This routine is my holy grail that I am sharing, okay? And I seriously do think that this bronzer, maybe, I don't know. This is only the second time I'm using this. This is only the second time I'm doing the whole routine. Maybe it's the e.l.f. primer and the e.l.f. like together, that they just stick really well. All I know is that when I need to look beat and I need it to last, I'll be doing this routine because I know that I am one of the most oily girls anybody could ever come in contact with. And, you know, makeup does not want to stay on my face. I know that this routine, please, just believe me. I am on my knees begging you. I am a micro influencer, all right? I don't get paid to show you or tell you anything about any of these things. All I know is that I could be paid $1 million by MAC Cosmetics or Charlotte Tilbury, and all I know is I'm going to be using these two things together when I need a serious routine that is going to last no matter what, and forever. e.l.f. hit me up. I'm already your girl. I'm already writing y'all, okay? Because they make some good stuff. Like e.l.f., I mean, like, they are really that girl at the drugstore. And when you can find a drugstore product that actually lasts, you gotta share it with the people. At least that's what I think. But I'm obsessed, one, with the color. Two, it is not like patchy at all. The more you put on, like, yeah, it looks a little scary, but then you like really like work it into the skin. With tapping motions, people, we tap out here. We do not, I feel like if I started swiping this, the patchiness would be out of control. Another thing that lasted all night was my blush, and that was none other than the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush literally, Selena Gomez is that girl. She knows what she's doing. I have it in the shade Joy. I gotta get more shades of these. This is the only shade of this I own, but truly every time I use it, my blush lasts all day. I've also been doing my blush like a lot differently. I used to like bring it under my eye and like sort of all under my eye, and I still like to do that. And I was putting it like a lot on my temple, but lately I've just been really putting it sort of this Sabrina Carpenter apple of the cheek moment, so that when you smile, it's like right on your apple. I have been obsessed with that. I still bring it like a little bit because I like the blend under my eye, but obviously this will all be toned down a lot once I go in with my concealer. It's tried and true. It is one of the best for a reason. I have this crazy like dark mark, you can see it. I'm trying to like conceal that up. A little bit more foundation and boom, she's gone. This stuff is seriously the best. Like that was just a really angry dark mark that I had picked at, and usually like this, I mean, covers once over like so beautifully. It's not like super full coverage, I'd say it's like medium full coverage, but it's one of my holy grail foundations. Like truly a 10 out of 10 in my eyes. I think it's like a 9 out of 10 only because I wish it was full coverage. That would be amazing. I am sort of a girl that loves to look like plaster. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want plaster in my life. Forgot to bronze my nose. And also, I'm gonna pull up my picture again of my 11 hours after wear. Do you see my nose contour? That's another reason why I think truly that this was the reason my bronzer looked good all day and night. The bronzer on my nose was still there. Truly, I think I was blessed with this routine. Like this routine found me. Like life blessed me with this routine so that I could share it. And it just blends. Like that was literally, let me show you how this blends. You see how it's on my nose? Let me just, boom, already blended. And my nose is snatched now. Insane. When I did this routine, I didn't powder my face. I like had to get up and go do some stuff, which normally I don't ever do. But when I came back and sat down, I had like no creasing, like no like, I didn't have no creasing, but I had like barely any concealer creased in my like eye fold. And I honestly don't know if it is the concealer or the fact that I go in with my sponge and I really like, I kind of drag under, I mean, you're not supposed to drag under your eye, but I do kind of just like go under and like dab out all the excess underneath my eye. And I just always go in with my blush again to like make that a little seamless. All right, kids, we get into the setting. Like I said, I'm an oily girl. I don't take setting lightly. I'm not like a, oh, let me just get my brush and like dab in and like, no. We got a plaster. This is the real work here, okay? This is how we set the plaster down. The Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I believe I have it in the shade Fair. While I think you could use not just any powder per se. If you want a drugstore powder, I would use the Maybelline Fit Me. It is personally my favorite drugstore loose setting powder that I've ever found. If you have Laura Mercier, if you have Huda Beauty, like higher end ones, I'm sure are gonna do maybe a little bit more for you. I don't have one of those. I have a Maybelline Fit Me, and that's what I use. And if you use it right, your makeup's gonna last 11 hours. What I do is I get some on my puff, I dab it out so that it's even. You see how that, look at that even distribution on my puff. That's what I'm talking about. I take my puff, make sure all my stuff is smooth. Like look at that on my eye. I don't know if you can tell. It's like a line of concealer in there. And I press, not even like a lot. Like that wasn't even, like you can't see like a distinct powder line of imprint there, you know what I mean? Just like a good amount, and you just really dab it in. You don't want to do too much or else you're gonna start looking crepey. And you don't want your makeup to last long but look crepey. Like that is the exact opposite of what we are going for. And the thing about setting that I have found as an oily girl is more is not more when it comes to powder. That is the one thing that people, you can't play with. It's like death. Like you don't play with death and you don't play with powder, because if you do, it'll be the death of your makeup. I said what I said. Your makeup will be wanting to die for how bad it looks if you use too much powder. So what I do is I put, like I still have a good amount of powder like all around the edges. I just like give myself a good amount, and every time I tap it out. So even when I'm cutting the cheek a little or going over everything, even if I put a lot of my sponge like I just did, I just tap it out and that is what is going to distribute everything evenly. And then that powder is gonna go so much, I feel like, deeper into your skin without like clogging it. And that's what leads it to look crepey. And I don't know about anybody else, I am not okay with my makeup lasting if at the cost of my makeup looking crepey. I'm an oily girl and I cannot use a lot of powder. I don't know if it works for other oily girls. Sound off in the comments below. If you have a powder you can just go crazy with, always, no matter how much powder you get, dab it out on that hand and then go in. And that is what is going to sort of cement down all the work we just did in a way that looks airbrushed and flawless, but is not gonna budge. One thing I do want to say is there's a misconception, I feel like, with powder as like that is what is making your makeup last, and that is not the case. What makes your makeup last are the products you use before you powder, and then after the products you use, it's the way you set your face. You can use, I don't know, you can use a Maybelline Fit Me $8 powder from the drugstore and your makeup will still last for 11 hours, the same as anybody else's that bought nothing but Dior foundations and Dior powders. You can get the same effect, but you just need to know how to do it. I'm only trying to help you help yourself. Help yourself look flawless all day. But I always take just whatever's left and I just sort of brush out the rest of everything else. There's not like any more powder on my brush when I do that. It's just what I use to set my neck, and then I'll go in and just start patting everything in just to make sure everything is set, especially that bronzer we put in our hairline, because I'm not getting clocked for being a ghostly girl. I'm not. The next thing I do is I take my bronzer. I take a little bit, just like the smallest amount, and I just go over everywhere I did the bronzer. Then I take my most holy grail blush palette. It is the Ofra blush palette. It has these amazing, stunning colors. I think I'm gonna go in with this peachy pinky one, and I don't go in with a lot because they are very pigmented. These two setting sprays are non-negotiables. They are not interchangeable. You cannot swap them out for different setting sprays. It needs to be these two. If you are an oily girl, if you are actually a part of the oily girl club, then you're gonna need these. Like, as the president of Oily Girl Society, I suffer at the highest level, and that's what's put me at president status. And so I am telling you, the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray, the Milk Hydro Grip whatever, that could be great too. All I know is that I have an e.l.f. dupe and it does amazing on its own. Just like, you know what I mean? But I do have the setting spray version of it just because I saw it when I was checking out at Sephora. It's not gonna break the bank to get the mini version. Once your Milk Makeup Hydro Grip setting spray is all sort of dried down, you can see there's a little bit of shine on my cheek now. That's not gonna fly for me, not as an oily girl. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my puff. I didn't put any extra powder on it, but this sort of sandwiches down the powder before and the Milk Hydro Grip with more powder now, and that is locking my makeup in. Next is none other than the One Size Until Dawn. The most genius, amazing name ever, rightfully so, because this is truly another non-negotiable. People, I am not playing. I already, where's my other one? I went through a full one of these. I bought a 2-pack without ever having tried this before. I bought a 2-pack, and I think it was around the holidays I did that. This girl's empty. I'm on to my new one already. And I knew, I bought a double pack just because I knew deep in my heart this was for real. God, they gotta make one that doesn't have scent though. Because the scent is assaulting, but I'll be damned before I ever stop using this because it is just that good. And that, my friends, is the last step in the bulletproof skin routine. I'm gonna throw on my eyebrows and do a little bit of a simple eye look and a lip, and I'll be right back to close this out. And this is my finished makeup look. Just really simple. The whole point of this video was really to show you this holy grail makeup routine for oily girls if you want to last in the summer heat. 11 hours. It still blows my mind at how great my makeup looked at the end when I did this routine for the first time. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you want to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a video. Let me know if you try this routine out for yourself, how you liked it. I'm dying to know if other oily girls also get the same results, because I really think that the routine that I did, the products I used, they're bulletproof for any oily girl. If it works for me, it's gotta work for you. But thanks again. Definitely like the video if you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. and let that set for a second. Like, don't go in right away with your foundation. Let it get sticky and set for a second. I'm doing a TikTok as well, so if you see me, like, I've got like 2 of me looking at me right now, so I'm a little thrown. In the shade Fair, and while I am very tan right now, for me personally, I'm quite, not that, but my face, yeah, I haven't tanned my body in a few days.